Feels like every time I come in this room, it's some crazy cooling experiment. Usually with you.
The aircon's good in here.
Which is... And that actually probably makes sense because this room isn't big enough for us to actually hold meetings in here anymore. And because we're at it yet again, this right here is a bizarre cooling product. This is the Icy Graphite Thermal Pad. The last thermal interface you will ever need. They claim that this thermal pad performs as well as thermal paste. It is extremely durable, so it could last for decades, and it's reusable. Let's investigate, shall we? After I tell you about private internet access. PIA is the VPN service that encrypts all of your internet traffic and uses a safe, protected IP. And it's got lots of other useful features as well. You can check it out at the link below. Ow! Well, it conducts heat.
Yeah, really well, especially in the XY.
All right, so what the hell is this thing?
So that's totally graphite, which I guess is carbon. I don't know exactly what to say for the, what exactly is this? I have notes.
This is the Innovation Cooling Graphite Thermal Pad. The goal of it is to replace traditional thermal pastes in long-term applications. Its main advantages are its easy application, there's no guessing how much to put on, its extremely long life, and its high resistance to thermal changes, which make it also good for extreme cooling scenarios where liquid metal or normal thermal paste might freeze. So in a nutshell, what they're saying is that this pad, even though it will be so thick compared to a paste, has no real disadvantage compared to spreading goop on your CPU.
Well, one disadvantage is that it is electrically conductive. So like 2 ohms, which is like better than a wire, but if you just toss it on your motherboard, it's gonna fry it. So,
okay, so that's
you do have to be more careful.
But unlike liquid metal, it's not gonna seep out.
Yeah,
right?
It's not gonna just go everywhere. You can get it pretty on there.
So would you just cut it to size if you had something that was...
Yeah.
So the main spec on this is its thermal conductivity, 35 watts per meter Kelvin. Yep. But I think probably most people wouldn't have a ton of context for what that means.
So compared to like IC diamond, that's really high. So this is like 4.5 watts per meter Kelvin. So it should be able to conduct a lot of heat through it. But
what is a watt per meter Kelvin? You don't know exactly, do you?
No.
Why do I even employ these people?
I'm looking it up right now.
Unfortunately, there are differing definitions for these terms.
Okay, so quantity of heat that passes in a unit time through a plate of particular area or thickness when opposite faces differ in temperature by 1 Kelvin. So that means that if there's 1 Kelvin difference between the two, you can conduct 35 watts per meter. So it actually makes a lot of sense when you think about it like that.
Cool, let's try it. Yeah. This is trippy, man. Like, cleaning all of the paste off and having it just like dry mounted. Like there are things in life that feel natural to mount dry. And there are things, and there are things that don't.
Uh-huh.
So an advantage to this dry approach is that there's no liquid. Like, you know, most thermal compounds are some kind of a suspension of some sort. So there's no liquid to eventually evaporate or dry out or mush out or anything like that. It's just, that's just it. You just plunk it on there. This is crazy. Just for the sake of, you know, transparency, no thermal paste.
Double screw on the dry.
Oh, you finished first. Now I feel awkward. Okay. It's trippy, like it seems like it's not right, you know?
So we're looking at, this is a 7980XE with liquid metal in it.
Okay.
So we're looking at an average temperature across all cores of 50.56.
And that was with Icy Diamond.
Yeah.
So Icy Diamond might not be the highest performance thermal compound, but it's very respectable.
They're all within, what, like 2 degrees of each other?
At the high end, yeah. I mean, we'd had that bulk stuff that didn't perform particularly well. That video is worth watching. You can check that out here.
Well, nothing's immediately concerning.
No, that looks very impressive.
Yeah.
What did we get on Icy Diamond?
Max 58, average 50.56. Like, it should perform in everything that I've read 1 to 2 degrees worse.
But, I mean, that's part of the argument for a solution like this, that there's no room for user error.
Yeah, like I might have done a bad...
Poor application or a bad mount. So at the end of the day, that's the conclusion of this video. Alex is a bad mount. We won't know for another 20 minutes or so. Or maybe 5 minutes, I don't know. All right. So it's been over an hour.
17, yeah.
Yeah, okay, cool. How do we do?
Plus 50 plus...
What's the point of even having a fancy ass calculator if it doesn't get it right?
Well, it's not the calculator's fault.
So it's the user. Heatsink's barely warm, which I guess makes sense. It still trips me out. So this one from Alex's pre-testing has actually been used a couple times, and Innovation Cooling told us that they've had people beta testing these that have reused them like over 20 times.
Over 50 even.
Really? Over 50?
Yeah, over 50. All right, so our average is 51.7.
So exactly what we expected. Okay, so all that's left for me then is I want to see, like, is it
Thinner?
Yeah, like, I don't know.
Like, I guess.
Let's shut her down.
All right. Oh, one thing that is cool about it is that it has the 35 watts per meter Kelvin. That's in the Z direction, so like up and down.
Yeah.
But it's 800-ish, 800,000. They're not totally sure. Watts per meter Kelvin from side to side.
Oh, so that's why it burned me when I torched it.
Yeah. So that's really good if you have like a hot spot on your CPU. It'll get it out to the heat pipes really well.
One thing I don't like about it that much is the size.
Why?
Well, I mean, that looks fine for a Core i9, but if I was cooling something like a Threadripper or one of Intel's Xeon Scalables or something like that, like a really big chip, I kind of feel like you could actually have die area
Can you just use
potentially
two?
not covered. I don't know, it's a wonderful question. I don't know the answer to that.
So I guess it should be like that in...
Theoretically, nothing would ever happen to it at all.
Yeah, they said lifetime. It should be about the same.
I think the coolest thing about this for me is, like, you know, for the last 10, 20 years, you know, every other month there's like a big article about how, you know, carbon nanotubes or this other novel implementation of carbon is going to completely revolutionize everything. And up until now, at least in the thermal space, although theoretically it has great thermal properties, we haven't really seen anything. And now here it is. You can buy it, you can stick it in your computer.
Yeah, completely commercial.
And it works. Speaking of things that work, our sponsor for this video. FreshBooks is the small business accounting solution built for the way you want to work. It's designed for freelancers and small business owners and allows them to save time, get more organized, and perhaps most importantly, get paid faster. FreshBooks lets you create and send professional-looking invoices in a matter of seconds, lets you set up online payments with just a couple of clicks to get paid up to 4 days faster. It lets you see when your client has seen your invoice, putting an end once and for all to the guessing games, and they've got fantastic customer service. You call FreshBooks, you talk to a real person, and they will help you out. So to try FreshBooks for 30 days for free, just head to the link in the video description. That's freshbooks.com/techtips, and then enter Linus Tech Tips in the How Did You Hear About Us section. So thanks for watching, guys. If you disliked this video, you can hit that button. But if you liked it, hit like, get subscribed. Maybe consider checking out where to buy the stuff we featured at the link in the video description. That is, if there's any left after the, like, 2 master cartons that they sent to us. Also linked in the video description is our merch store, which has cool shirts like this one, as well as our community and our community forum, which you should totally join. So, like, theoretically, there's no reason for us to ever apply thermal goop again. We just throw these on everything from now on and just reuse them forever.
Like, I guess we could.
Yeah, take that, thermal paste. No, it's like...
You've got so much of it, though.